Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA90, the special Father's Day edition. And I say Father's Day edition, a special Father's Day edition, because I'm going to open up I try to be emotional here today. When I was writing this, I became emotional, and even at 54 years old, when I think about my dad and I think about my mom and I think about a lot of things, I still get emotional. And I'll read this to you, but I lost my mother before I was like 32, and I lost my dad at 41. So I lost my parents young. And a lot of this touches on this, but also touches on other personal parts of my life and business that I got to know some special souls. And that's why I'm opening up to this. And those that I cherish in my life, how they've guided me, helped me in this bigger path of life that I'm on right now. So on this happy Father's Day edition, hopefully another tractor and lawnmower doesn't start, but I'm outside of my Zen office, and then let's start here. I'm going to read it to you, but I want to engage in conversation. So I usually ad lib, like I mentioned, but maybe I did or did not. But I ad lib, but this one is personal. I want to talk about it while I'm reading through to you. So EFA90 Special Father's Day Edition by Jean-Guy Bourguignon. I have my father's providing mind and soul, and my mother's giving and loving heart. I understand my father more today than in my 41 years living with him. I lost my father at 41, where I wish he were here with me today as the man and father that I've become, so that we can each listen to each other and listen to understand. And those of you that still have your parents, and with hope that you have an open, loving communication relationship with them. If so, talk to your parents. Talk to your mother, talk to your father. Listen to learn, listen to understand, but also engage in conversation to learn about each other. Go deep into the rabbit hole. It will open up your loving understanding of each other. You are the voices after they are gone. You are their voices after they are gone. Who's going to pass on their memories? Who's going to pass? How does generation learn about the past? Learn from the lacking fabric of our society is around the family dinner table, around the strong communities and strong families. That's the breakdown of our society. So listening to understand, we put our parents into old age homes, like we go. And I understand the freedom of life. I completely understand that, and taking care. Like we took care of my mother for the last 7 years of her life. Basically, the last 7 years of her life, we took care of her because she had ALS and she had cancer within the ALS. Just they gave it to her, right? The big hand of life just gave it to her. And my father, it was basically the last 2 weeks of his life, suffered massive, multiple 5 strokes, and the veteran that he was, man, he just sat by his bed on the last day and completely fine. He wanted to go home. No, he was so independent, but his heart gave up that night. So you are the voices after they are gone. They may not know. I will guarantee you that a lot of the that some of you may have inside of you about your parents, or your parents towards their children, that either one of you have no clue, and vice versa. Like literally have no clue. I've talked to individuals in my life and they say things about their parents. Like, have you ever discussed it with them? When you go really granular and you go really deep into the conversation, they haven't. And they get emotional when they talk about it. So I'm telling you now, if you have unanswered, unresolved, anything with a loving, open communication. Like don't unbury the hatchet. If you don't have an open and loving communication, don't unbury the hatchet. And the open communication, choose your environment wisely. All right. My Zen office is a perfect example of having beautiful conversations with people, having the ability to sit across this table and coffee, glass of dry red wine, extra dry, or a bourbon with sparkling water, right? So this is my why on my new Zen Business Life. My why, Jean-Guy Bourguignon's why on my new Zen Business Life. Marijuana for Trauma. Marijuana for Trauma was a group of veterans that I got to know in 2016. Small group. individuals that led from behind. They led from behind. They were the frontier. They were the when it came to treating veterans with cannabinoids. There's a lot of frontier individuals there, and I know there's a lot of groups that have been before that and that kind of stuff, and in different parts of the world. But I want to give credit to Marijuana for Trauma, the group that I had a chance to walk through my path of life. And that path of life, I was on a heavy, fat, busy, multi corporations, trying to do everything, trying to help everyone, trying to be better in everything path of life, right? But never really taking time for me, Jean-Guy Bourguignon. Provide. But what about me, Jean-Guy Bourguignon? So when I looked at that, and you're going to see why this is not selfish. You're going to understand when I go through that. Women and men, this is Marijuana for Trauma here, and specifically to the veterans. I want to talk about the veterans, all of them, from the founders all the way down, from the grassroots all the way up, and their families. Let me please listen to understand. Women and men, veterans that served our country, like my father did. Remember, 5 years of war. Who helped me understand my father. Sorry. I told my wife before doing this video that writing this makes me emotional. I told you I don't want to get emotional. And I'll do my best not to, because the message is important. I had a French teacher when I was young. He would say, "C'est parti." I just thought about him. It was funny. "C'est parti. Let's start over." That's what I do with my daughters all the time. Let's start over. Do you want to start over? Right? Do you want to start over? Let's start over. Women and men, veterans that serve our country, who helped me understand my father, understanding his providing soul, who showed his love by providing, who did not know. It's wrong, but it's strong. Like, who did not know how to show his love through hugs while having the biggest heart. And to the spouses of veterans, I was paying attention. The Niners that helped me understand my parents, the dynamics growing up, were me, Jean-Guy. As an optimist, I focus on their gift that they provided me. They provided my mind with a lot of gifts that they had, both of them. And I made it count. Hence why I have my father's providing mind and soul, and my mother's giving and loving heart. The last 20 years of my father's life, he spent it at a cottage with visiting family, friends, neighbors, etc., but living alone, a life that he cherished. And thanks to the governance of COVID-19, I, Jean-Guy Bourguignon, you, governance of COVID-19, forced me into a whole new realm, a realm that I ensured to involve my beautiful wife and daughters. Because of the veterans, I understood why my father loved his solitude life at his cottage, which was his home, why he loved it so much. A life that he flourished. He flourished when he engaged. After he was able to break free from the monstrous grip of the demons of alcohol, that finally enabled him to open up his heart, mind, and soul. Love that man. I understood the veterans breaking free from their meds, that is killing them all softly and slowly. Once once that grip of the addiction was torn off their hearts, mind, and soul, their love opened up. Their minds started to understand, and their Zen organically grew. Hence why today our property is becoming my Zen office and my family's Zen office. Whenever possible, my beautiful life is working in silence. I said my beautiful life, but I wrote my business life. But my beautiful business life is working in silence as much as possible, whenever possible, so that I can learn while working. I'm those I can. You'll see me with double headphones on, a pair of headphones onto my laptop, a pair of headphones on top of those headphones. I'm watching a screen in front of me, watching a screen, I'm typing away. I change the environment. I explain that to people. I change the environment, and I used to say that to people all the time. The people tell me, "How do you work all the time? So many companies, 7 days a week." I say that change the environment. And I didn't change it enough. I didn't change it enough. And then with this COVID-19, it just blew my mind, right? It transpired the control and it changes on people's lives and et cetera, et cetera. So I chose to get out of the systems. I chose to, as much as possible, I'm going to get out of the systems. I got 4 acres of land here. I'm going to grow. We're going to sustain our family with food as much as possible. Let's start expanding what we have here. Like, why did I not plant fruit trees 20 years ago? Like, I think about, I told my wife, why the hell did we not plant fruit trees 20 years ago, right? Yes, I started gardens a few years ago, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Now it's going to get much bigger, and I'm going to do a lot of that. My Zen office and the organic growth. This is going to be very Zen. We have the pool house, we have the screen house, we have all that, right? Have the meetings here and that kind of stuff. Yeah, productive Zen life is gonna flourish here, just like my father's life flourished. And these puppies here, these wireless headphones, amazing gifts of life, of technology. I love it because I get to work in silence, and I'm using all the communication. Monster hands, I'm told, but I can type. I took typing because of the girls. I'm being open here, being open and honest. I took typing because of the girls, and I learned because I'll be honest with you. I have 5 sisters. I'm a mama's boy, and I've said this before. The 2 daughters, beautiful wife, 2 dogs, females. So all my life, women I've cherished around me, and I've cherished around them. I've flourished around them, and I love to empower those that listen to understand, right? But not there's path roads that when I look at the Niners, I talked about the Niners here. They chose to stand by their family, their community, and their strength. Right? They support their own, and this is what's lacking in the fabric of our societies right now. My intrinsic path was given a massive boost by the governance of COVID-19, but I choose to give the credit to the hearts, mind, and souls of my father and mother, the beautiful veterans and the veterans' families and communities, for helping me understand, to my loving and beautiful wife and daughters who love and support me through my remaining lifestyle's path on our beautiful planet, and embrace the organic changes in all our lives. All our lives. They're on a path with me, and they're embracing it. They're fully on board, and they're doing like nonstop. I watch them work the gardens, that kind of stuff, and ideas. And Maddie, my bright star, she loves to come up with a very creative mind. She could be an amazing architect, right? But she's like me. She didn't like school. She wants to get the hell out of it. And when I got out of school, high school, boom, like, right, it just took off. And if you look at a lot of people with that kind of mindset, all these titles, dyslexia, etc. It's a gift of dyslexia. But I'm going to go back to finish my story here. For the last few years, I've been wishing all fatherless parents a happy Father's Day. Like I wish all motherless parents a happy Mother's Day. What I mean by that is there's a lot of individuals out there that are raising other people's children like their own. So many great parents out there, loving, providing souls that are raising with values other people's children because of their loving, blended families. I'm wishing all those that are mothering and fathering a most memorable day filled with loving laughter. My daughters gave me this morning. My wife gave me beautiful perfumes. I like GQ and I like smelling good. So she gives me a really nice perfume. And I don't want to brand anything as much as I can. I can't. And my daughters were spending a beautiful family day weekend together, Father's Day weekend. Um, I'm not a stuff guy, and I've said this before. People that know me, I'm very practical, and I'm not a stuff guy. I've never been a toys guy and that kind of stuff, and I have a lot of friends that love their toys, and I love and respect them all. And just me, Jean, organically, I've never been that guy. I'm the providing soul, i.e., my father and my mother, right? So the story I just read you, but I cherish a lot of things like Christmas. And I cherish Christmas because the spirit of Christmas comes like December 1st, it explodes within me. And it goes my birthday, January 4th. And then that whole time period is the spirit I feel the world's Zen, right? And then one of those other feelings is Father's Day weekend, right? My wife got me some perfume, but I told her, don't give me nothing, right? Don't give me nothing. Just conversations, like I spend a day together, etc., etc. But I want to read you like my daughter Eva. She's always my funny one, and my comedian, my athlete. Like she needs like this whole COVID-19 and these stupid phones that affect on children, right? She needs to get back into the sports world and that training and that. But yeah, she's got that drive, and a lot of you that realize how much that drive is being replaced by that stupid phone. So happy Father's Day, but she said happy Father's Day. You're the best farter. Like loving and etc. And everything you do, you mean the world to me, and I will always be your financial burden, right? And she's right. She will always be my financial, loving, crying, gray hair. This goes gray. I tinted black, and I said I'm GQ, and it's not a burden, right? I always be your financial burden, and it's not a burden at all. But she's right, right? They're gonna be there all our lives, all our life. But I will guide you, right? I will not be your crutch, and that's what's wrong with our society. We have given too many crutches. We have children now with 50 crutches per arm, like 50 crutches per arm. And let the system raise you. Let's go into socialism. Let's do nothing for everything. And then here's Maddie. This baseball bat. My daughter Maddie plays baseball. She plays on all boys. Oh, it's not an all boys team. She's pretty much the only girl on that team, and there's another girl on another team. And when she wants to play baseball, she can play baseball. She can hit the ball. She's pretty top scorer in her team. And when she wanted to play baseball, I found her team. I said it's an all boys team. That's going to be the only girl. And she goes, okay. And then after the first game, she was coming out, and I said, it was okay, Penabog, like I'm the only girl, and the guys don't talk to me. And I think it was a third game, and she was last at bat, last at the inning, last at everything, and they were, I think it was 11-7, and yeah, no, it was 11-8, or no, it was 11-7 because she tied the game. And last at bat, and I was sitting in the stands right behind her, and in our backyard we had, like I said, I'm on acreage here, and when I throw the ball at her, she would smoke it into the forest, and I would tell, and then and in the field I told her, "Paddy, come à la maison," just like at home. That's all I whispered. And then, "Paddy, come à la maison," and she looked back and she looked at me. She was listening to understand, and she understood the message. She completely smokes that ball, center right, like down. All four of them come in, tied the game. Tied the game, and I was walking home with her and all the parents and the players cheering. Yeah, it was great, Maddie, blah, blah, and all that stuff, and loving and hand high fives. And it was beautiful, beautiful. And when we got to the vehicle, she closed the door and she goes, yes! And she did the whole, yeah, did you see that? I said, of course I saw that. And this morning, Maddie gave me, this is the first official bat, she calls it. She had all these toy bats over there, but this is the first rolling bat that I had given her. And obviously these are not league bats. And this is what she was hitting with in the back. And on the bat this morning, she gave me this bat. And on the bat, she wrote a few things. I'm going to read you the message here, but this is what she wrote on the bat. She gave me her first official bat, right? That's what she gave me. And she wrote, I love you for all the memories. So I love you. Thank you for all the, yeah, that's where it is. I love you. Thank you for all the memories. And then she wrote, thank you for always being there at my games and cheering me in the background for me. And thank you for rushing to my games and eating dinner at them. My wife would make me dinner, and I prepared all the dinners. And she prepared and my wife beautiful dinners, man. I'm very fortunate, I'm very blessed. I come home and everything's ready, bada boom, bada bing, into the cooler, and Maddie jump in, throw the stuff, rush to the games, right? So, and I would eat at the games and watch her play. And she wrote, "Thank you, Maddie, happy Father's Day." So when when I look at this and I look at all these veterans and the journeys they've been through and these men and women and families, my father, my mother, my wife, my daughters, my family, those I love and respect, and a lot of people, I didn't push anybody back. I separated myself from a lot of things, and a lot of individuals gave me my space. They gave me my space, and I've completely changed my life. I've literally completely changed my life, and it's going to make me a better father. It's going to make me a better husband, a better father, a better provider, a better everything because of this. Because of this intrinsic path that I walked through my life, and because of COVID-19 kicked me in the back of the head to push me into something. When I used to look at those veterans, and I used to look at the community of them and how they were, and in my business life, I said to myself, I will be there in business one day. Business Zen. I'm going to create a business Zen for myself. And if you follow my podcasts, my previous EFAs, and I talk the new videos on how I lost 100 pounds and all that kind of stuff, and that the intrinsic path that I'm in and why I'm here, this is part of that path. This was part of that path that I was aiming for, telling myself, putting it in my box, putting it in my file folder. That bucket list you talk about, that's an intrinsic path that I've built to live it. Live it while you're living. Live it while you're living. Happy Father's Day. If you love my messages, please, I always forget to say these things, like, if you love my messages, please subscribe, click on the bell. By clicking on the bell, you stay updated on my videos. By subscribing, I build my subscribers. I continue to do what I do. And I want to say thank you, merci, gracias, grazie. And I'd love to say it in every other languages, every other beautiful earth planet languages. I would love to learn them all. Thank you.